Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 5th of May. So looking, before I actually look at the technicals, let's just have a look at what the fundamental data due out today. Okay, we've already seen the Aussie cash rate and statement coming out. Now we've got 9:30 final services PMI UK. I don't see that as being a big mover at the moment, although it's highlighted on the system. CAD trade balance, no way is that going to make a lot of difference at 130, and well, services PMI or non-manufacturing PMI in the US at 3. I think the figures are going to be very soft, but the market's already built into expectation that these figures are going to be very soft, so none of those will have a massive bearing. New Zealand employment data, unemployment data, employment change, 11:45 this evening. New Zealand may be in a bit of a different part of this progression through the coronavirus, and well, we might see a slight more pick up there, although unemployment is still supposed to be increasing there to 4.4%. So any positive surprises, might see the New Zealand dollar get a bit of movement, but as I said recently, these numbers, the event risk that we normally get with them, the volatility that normally comes with them, is just not really happening at the moment that much, as expectations are pretty much already there for the worse. Only as we sort of start coming out of this situation, I think we'll see some more positive data movements. Okay, so euro dollar here, bearish pivot swing sitting in there. It's looking like it wants to break everything, but it's sitting right. Oh, it looks like it's touched it. I'm straining to look there, but it does look, it's pretty much into a key point here. If you look where my cursor's sort of running across to the left there, and there's plenty of other highs around this point. Is this going to now provide us a bit of support with this 200? If it is, well, that bearish pivot swing may not be working for too much. However, a break of this sort of area between the 200 there and the 50, if we can break through those, well then it seems more of a weaker euro, and more likely that the euro will roll over, obviously. Where it sits at the moment, no, I mean, we saw this yesterday, just sat for hours. We could just see a similar sort of occurrence here. As I said, it's sitting right there into prior highs, and it will be a true test of that as support area. As I said, a breakdown maybe of that, looking at this time frame, 60-minute 200 there. If it starts breaking through there, 4-hourly 50, well, maybe expect more downside. It makes for difficult trading when you're sitting into such strong support at the moment. If you're bearish on this, which would be right, looking at what we're seeing here and the signals that we're seeing on the bigger time frames, but patience is needed down the euro. The pound. Again, it looked a bit sort of soft yesterday. I thought it might have rolled over a little bit more in the afternoon, but it didn't. It's held up, and that in itself is sort of made me sort of scratch my head on this one again. It looked really, as I say, it looked really soft as it was coming through the Asian session. It's picked up a little bit, and I'm seeing it sort of taking support off this 4-hourly 50. And starting to pick up, maybe picking up higher low confirmed as it broke through there at 1 o'clock this morning. Minute, but it's there, and it's, to me, it's looking like, if anything, it may be running back towards the weekly pivot at some point. Again, it's got to push through some key moving averages to the upside here, so it's not an easy route on this smaller time frame, but it's looking reasonably positive at the moment. Okay, that's the pound, or I say reasonably positive, more positive than the euro. Okay, dollar yen. Well, the yen, we'll come on to how it looks in the short term there in a moment, but long term, it's really it's quite rangy, and whenever we get these sort of rangy moves, after a while, we get a decent push. We saw it last week. It sort of pushed through the first few days there, then bounced, but at the moment, well, just moving back into range again. It did. I was looking at this with the guys in the trading room yesterday, and it had this lovely trend line going across the lows, and you just thought, well, with break of that and a continuation, we may see more from it, but hasn't really done too much. And it's the range in terms of price action here. You're talking about 30 pips, 40 pips running across here, so quite tight in terms of movement here. Okay, that's the dollar yen, Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar, well, it looks looking like it wants to get a bit of a bounce. We were looking at this yesterday, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, you look at the 4 hourly, it's flaggy sort of price action. It looked weak yesterday. We were looking at the other time frames, so coming down to the 60-minute, and well, it put a higher low in. It got messy quite early on, started selling again, but again it's pushing through here, and it's keep on referring to it as an inverted Canadian dollar at the moment, but these commodities currencies, they seem to be picking up a little bit here at the moment, and this one's certainly looking more bullish at this stage. That's the Aussie dollar, and I'll just look at the Canadian dollar. You see an inverted Aussie, effectively lower high. It was actually cleaner for a change yesterday, although it did pick back through, but again it's picked off. Is it going to go any further? Let's just come out to the dailies for a moment, and you just sort of, well, okay, it doesn't look massively like it would continue a lot further. Discount the current candle. It was up until that point looking a bit bullish yesterday. Well, put that doji in, and you look at this, and it looks sort of bullishish. As I say, it's a totally inverted Aussie at this stage. It looks, well, we're seeing a bit of a bounce as I speak here at the moment. Maybe the Canadian will soften a little bit more. Maybe it will give opportunities back into some of those key moving averages to sell back. But normally, for me, very much a swing currency, and well, yesterday might have been a swing on the short side, but both, as I say, the Canadian dollar and the Aussie dollar is pretty much inverted version. But still looks like it's probably got some more upside there at this stage. So that's pretty much it there. Oil's been having a lovely run. I'm just going to look at the 60 minutes. Continued in this run back up to $25. Okay, seems like not looking at catching any lows at the moment, but we'll see how this runs. But it certainly has steadied up a lot here, and is a gradual, if we bring the 4 hourly there, a decent trend at this stage. Must admit, it's gone a lot quicker than I expected, and I was expecting more of a sell-off, but we have got looking into it. If it does push back towards that 26.69 area, I think I'll be a seller at that point, so watching for that to sell back into, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, and finally the S&Ps were dancing all over the place yesterday. Got a reversal in the end. It ended up more positive. It's just come down here. You see it just gap down there on the Sunday. Yesterday really so it was a bit of a dance during the day there, but it did eventually move its way up there. I was looking at this in the trend line here, just looking to see if we've got a clear break of that. Not to be. It's just pushing back up towards that weekly pivot, and at the moment there seems to be full of the joys of spring, regardless of Buffett selling off his airline stocks or whatever else. The rest at the moment are seeing that move to the upside, so we'll see how this rolls, but for now it's looking, as I say, more positive and maybe more upside. It is running into sort of that weekly pivot would be quite a key point technically, with the 34 moving average sitting there. We'll see how that price reacts to that. Okay, that's it for me today. As I called the news out, there's not a lot that I think will significantly create any volatility. Have a great day. Bye for now.